And welcome to this EPP local dialogue on empowering regional talents, fostering local skills, resources, cultural identity for sustainable development. And before we begin, a quick reminder, please do not remove these name plates because there is another session starting 10:30. So I ask non-members to leave the room to make space when the next participants come 10:30. So thank you for your cooperation. Well, anyway, as the Vice President of the EPP Group at the European Committee of Regions, I'm delighted to address a topic that is not only central to our values, but also essential for the future of Europe's region. And today we focus on the unique potential of each region and whether it's local skills, industries, natural resources, or cultural heritage. I forgot to say that you have interpretation, almost all languages in Europe. You can see it on I think it's on your table. Anyway, the purpose of this dialogue is to exchange ideas and best practices among local and regional leaders, and also recognizing that each region in Europe has a unique set of talents and also resources. So by building up these assets, we can drive sustainable development, not just to boost economic growth, but also to enrich our communities, both culturally and socially. So today we will expose how to better support these regional strengths for balanced and sustainable development across all Europe. We are fortunate to have with us local leaders and also young elected politicians who are spearheading initiatives to develop local skills and resources, but also sharing valuable insights into empowering our regions for the future. I like to remind you, as I said earlier, about the language. You can find it in the list. And also for social media, we suggest hashtag EPP local dialogue and also hashtag EU region weeks. So now I will introduce my speakers here. It's Pablo Fernandez Lopez, Secretary General for Employment and Labor Relations of the Department of Employment, Commerce and Immigration of Galicia. We have Richard Rio, Mayor of Braga, and Francisca Ramis Pons, Director General for Institutional and Parliamentary Relation of the Government of Balearic Islands in Spain. So, this is the first panel, and this role of local skills and resources in sustainable development, that also brings the leaders to driving change through innovative projects in their regions. So, let's start with Galicia. So, Mr. Fernandez, could you tell us how the project you are carrying out is empowering rural entrepreneurs to harness Galicia's agriculture potential and also how it supports sustainable development, please?
Okay, thank you, Vice President. Good morning, buenos días a todos. Muchas gracias al Grupo Popular Europeo por invitar a Galicia a exponer lo que estamos haciendo a nivel de emprendimiento. En la imagen que veis a continuación creo que puede definir perfectamente mi región. Estamos situadas, como veis en el mapa, tenemos un clima atlántico y estamos caracterizados por nuestro contacto con la naturaleza, con la economía verde, con la economía azul. Por daros un contexto, somos 2,7 millones de habitantes en Galicia, el 97,8% del territorio es rural. Estructuralmente tenemos 7 grandes ciudades, entre 70.000 y 350.000 personas cada una. El 75% de la población la tenemos concentrada únicamente en el 18% del territorio, por lo tanto hemos sufrido un proceso de concentración, como muchísimos países europeos desde hace un siglo para aquí, y también tenemos una característica que nuestro territorio es muy fértil, por lo tanto es el minifundismo que le llamamos, que es que en un territorio tan pequeño una familia, por ejemplo, en los años 50 podría vivir tan solo con 0,2 hectáreas de terreno. Por supuesto, tenemos una cultura propia, un idioma propio y una gastronomía que nos distingue del resto del país. Y también tenemos una relación muy intensa con la inmigración. En los años de la guerra, nuestros ciudadanos tuvieron que emigrar, especialmente a Sudamérica, y ahora estamos implementando políticas de retorno que están atrayendo población de vuelta a nuestras regiones, ¿no? Voy a hablarles sobre la estrategia de emprendimiento que tenemos en Galicia. Están basadas principalmente en dos pilares. Primero, en cómo crear las condiciones para facilitar el emprendimiento rural como fórmula de desarrollo territorial y retención de población. Y el segundo pilar es cómo fomentar la acción de coordinación entre agentes públicos y privados, especialmente los actores locales en zonas del territorio, ¿no? El 24 de junio recibíamos del Comité de las Regiones el premio de Galicia Región Emprendedora 2025, por lo cual estamos muy agradecidos.
I'm sorry. Don't press the speaker button. There is on the left side of the clock, there is floor. Then you hear what's speaking here. If you want another language, you have to press there. And you can raise your hand and the staff will help you. But every time you press the speaker, you cut him off and the camera moves. So if you don't know how to do it, raise your hand and the staff will come and help you. Okay? Please, I'm sorry.
Okay, thank you. Bien, nuestra estrategia de emprendimiento se basa en estos 5 pilares que no voy a desarrollar por cuestión de tiempo, pero sí que me gustaría a continuación mostraros 3 ejemplos de buenas prácticas que estamos desarrollando a partir de esta estrategia. La primera de ellas son los polos de emprendimiento o centros de emprendimiento que tenemos dispersos por toda la geografía, 15 oficinas de emprendimiento que están dispersos en lugares rurales de Galicia, en el cual tenemos 2 técnicos especializados en emprendimiento que dan asesoramiento totalmente gratuito a nuestros emprendedores y que los acompañamos a lo largo de su trayectoria, tanto en el nacimiento, en la consolidación, internacionalización o incluso en el relevo generacional de sus negocios. Como resultados, tenemos 2.600 proyectos asesorados en el último año y medio, más de 180 entidades constituidas. Un dato muy importante es que el 60% de los proyectos está liderado por mujeres y el 5% es de retornados de otros países. Y lo más importante también es que son proyectos ligados al territorio. El segundo de los ejemplos prácticos que os quería enseñar es nuestra apuesta por un proyecto piloto con los colivings de emprendimiento. Nos dimos cuenta que tenemos el coliving de emprendimiento más antiguo de Europa, está en Galicia, en una aldea perdida en el medio del rural, lo cual muchos altos directivos europeos van a desconectar, a concentrarse en su labor empresarial en este centro. Tenemos una red privada de ellos y lo que estamos haciendo es acompañándolos y fomentándonos este tipo de negocios. Hemos creado 60 nuevos líderes que, como podéis ver en el mapa, están distribuidos por todo el territorio y cuyo objetivo es fomentar este tipo de emprendimiento. Y, por último, me gustaría hablaros de la importancia de coordinar el sistema. Tenemos un sistema muy rico en asociacionismo, en fundaciones, en todo tipo de organizaciones que colaboran con el emprendimiento. Es importante desde la Administración regional liderarlos y coordinarlos. Por eso estamos haciendo reuniones permanentemente en diferentes territorios, en diferentes sectores económicos y con otras administraciones. Y también, por supuesto, estamos liderando esta coordinación, especialmente en la economía social, teniendo unos resultados de más de 1.800 cooperativas activas, sociedades laborales 1.400, centros especiales de empleo y empresas de inserción. Y para finalizar, creo que necesitamos fijar población en nuestras regiones y gestionar nuestro territorio mediante la ruralización. Desde Galicia creemos que apostar por un emprendimiento ligado al territorio, al medio natural, acompañado de la innovación tecnológica, permitirá un equilibrio sostenible en Europa. Muchas gracias.
Thank you very much. Perfect. We are now going to watch a video about promotional of rural innovation in Flevoland, Netherlands. And this is shared with us by our member, Mr. Klopman, please.
The latest technologies can offer invaluable support for farmers and agribusinesses. Automation, in particular, can play a major role in crop production, including weeding and pest control. This is the story of the Andela Robot Weeder, a fully robotized and autonomous weeding machine that detects and removes various weeds in different crops under all field conditions. The 9-metre-wide machine consists of 12 weeding units that can be adjusted to different row distances. The machine's speed depends on the weed density and can reach up to 1,000 metres per hour. It can detect weeds from just a few millimetres in size, and it's insensitive to light, so it can therefore be used 24/7. We spoke to Jan Klopman, Regional Minister of the Flevoland province, on how EU funding is making a difference on the ground.
As the youngest province of the Netherlands, Flevoland is home to pioneers and innovators. Therefore, we truly appreciate European funding for innovations that help us develop towards a strong and sustainable economy. The Andela robot weeder is a perfect example of an innovative agriculture solution that was developed with the help of European funding. Nowadays, the fully robotized weeding machine is essential in the automation of agriculture practices, and it offers new opportunities for the future of farmers all over Europe.
Cities and regions are at the forefront to support farmers and businesses to secure food production in a sustainable way. The EPP COR group believes in technology geared towards productivity and sustainability and will push for the common agricultural policy to invest more in technology to secure food production and drive forward innovation.
Thank you very much. And we are moving forward. Mr. Rio, transport infrastructure is critical for local economies, but it's also by environmental conscious. Can you tell us about the sustainable transport project in Braga and how it's contributing to both economic growth but also sustainability in your region, please?
Thank you, Elena. Thanks for the EPP for the invitation. Greetings to all the participants. According to the latest Eurobarometer of the European Union, Braga had a lot of good news to know. And the first one was that we ranked 9th together with our friends from Cluj-Napoca, Mayor Boc, in the ranking of the happiness of our citizens, with 94% of our citizens saying that they were happy to live in the city of Braga. But among many other figures, we had a specific one which was not so happy for the mayor of the city of Braga, which was the fact that we ranked first at the European level in terms of the use of own vehicles by our citizens for their daily routines. 70% of our citizens say that they use their own vehicles for their own routines, for their daily routines. And that fact obviously has an impact in another dimension in which we are very focused, which is climate adaptation and the sustainability of our territory. And according to the last inventory of our carbon emissions, 60% of the emissions produced in the city of Braga were linked with the mobility area. First, because of the heavy use of own vehicles by the citizens, but secondly, because the bus fleet from the municipality, the public bus fleet, until a couple of years ago was very, very old. When I was elected in 2013, the average age of the buses in the city of Braga was 17 years old, which is something that you couldn't believe it was possible in an European Union country. Well, the fact is that throughout these years, we have been investing heavily in a sustainable mobility plan of development of the city. We have been widening the pedestrian zones of our territory. We have been enlarging the network of bike lanes in the city. We have been creating incentives for people to use more bicycles for their daily moves in the city. But first of all, we have been investing a lot in the transportation system, in the public transportation system of the city, improving its quality, improving the level of services, reducing costs and making it more economically accessible for everyone. For instance, since a couple of years ago, all the students until the university didn't have to pay to use the public transportation. We have a specific allocated service which is called school bus for youngsters so that their parents can leave their kids in an interface and have them accompanied to schools and not take them to the door of the school. But on top of that, we have been renewing that bus fleet that I was mentioning, and currently we have over 50% of our bus fleet fully electric, so completely green buses, and we are now improving that investment so that until 2026 we will reach 70% of our bus fleet relying only on electric buses. Together with this investment, we are precisely at this moment creating a new transportation system, which is the Bus Rapid Transit, which was financed by the National Recovery and Resilience Plan with an amount of 100 million euros, which will create 2 central lines in the center of the city, connecting the railway station with the university and the biggest centers in terms of daily moves of our citizens, and that will obviously improve the reliability of the service and attract even more citizens for this public transportation. And that's how we want to change this reality that I mentioned in the beginning, improving the quality of life for the citizens of Braga. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Very inspiring. Now we will introduce a video about sustainable transport in the project in Cuge, Romania, and this is shared with by our member, Mr. Teban. So please, that video.
Over 70% of EU citizens live in urban areas that generate 23% of all transport greenhouse gas emissions. To help the European Union reduce greenhouse gas emissions, cities and regions across the EU are taking initiatives to develop urban transport systems that are safe, accessible, and when possible, emission-free. The town of Cuge in Romania invested €20 million in urban mobility to reduce carbon emissions. We spoke to Adrian Teban, Mayor of Cuge, to share with us tangible actions taken by his town to make urban mobility more sustainable.
Urban mobility is important in big cities, but also in small towns as Cuge.
The most important project in the field of mobility, we achieved 14 kilometers of road modernization for public transport, 6 new hybrid buses, but also 20 kilometers of bicycle paths and 70 new electrical bicycles.
Thanks to these initiatives, one can now reach the city centre in 15 minutes using sustainable modes of transport. Results have been visible from the start of the project, with the number of cyclists increasing by over 300%. Such projects have also made cycling safer for users. We spoke to a young family using the bicycle paths.
We are grateful for all the changes that made our small town safer, more enjoyable for cycling, for the kids, for everybody.
EPP-led regions and cities are committed to cut emissions and will continue to step up their efforts to build sustainable mobility needed today and tomorrow.
Oh, that was amazing and inspirational. Now we will move on, and Francisca Ramis-Pons, could you share with us how your region is facilitating entrepreneurship, but also enhancing digital and green transition through specializing training programs, please?
Buenos días a todos y muchísimas gracias en nombre del Gobierno de las Islas Baleares al Partido Popular Europeo por darme la oportunidad de intervenir en este seminario sobre el empoderamiento de los talentos regionales en el marco de la Semana Europea de las Regiones y Ciudades del 2024. En los últimos años, las regiones europeas se han enfrentado a circunstancias muy adversas que han exigido un esfuerzo enorme de improvisación, seguido de un debate en profundidad sobre nuestro futuro tan incierto. La crisis económica del 2010, seguida de la pandemia del COVID-19 y las guerras que asolan nuestros territorios cercanos, primero Ucrania y ahora Oriente Medio, nos han obligado a modificar nuestros programas de gobierno regional para ser capaces de hacer frente a estos retos y minimizar sus consecuencias económicas y sociales. Dicho esto, y hablando de un futuro optimista, como no puede ser de otra manera, el Gobierno de Baleares ha apostado desde sus inicios, apenas un año, por fomentar el desarrollo sostenible mediante la promoción del talento regional. La pandemia del COVID-19 ha hecho saltar por los aires las estructuras clásicas profesionales del mercado laboral. La gestión del talento ha cambiado radicalmente. Fomentar el tejido empresarial y el talento regional de nuestros trabajadores y emprendedores es precisamente una de las prioridades del Gobierno de Marga Proens. Hoy nos encontramos en un momento crucial en la intersección de la tecnología, la educación y el emprendimiento para formar a nuevos talentos. La transformación digital está redefiniendo el mercado laboral y con ella la forma en que nos formamos y trabajamos. Por ello, el objetivo es alinear la formación en nuevas tecnologías con las necesidades reales del mercado laboral y, al mismo tiempo, apoyar el emprendimiento mediante medidas públicas efectivas. Y esto es lo que estamos haciendo en nuestro Gobierno en las Islas Baleares. Vivimos en una era de cambios rápidos impulsado por tecnologías emergentes. Sectores como la inteligencia artificial, el Big Data y la ciberseguridad están creciendo exponencialmente. Sin embargo, a pesar de esta demanda, muchas empresas enfrentan dificultades para encontrar profesionales capacitados. La brecha entre la oferta y la demanda laboral es significativa, lo que resalta la necesidad urgente de adaptar nuestros programas de formación al mercado de trabajo. Con este objetivo, desde el Gobierno balear se ha lanzado el programa de microcredenciales dirigidos a personas de 25 a 64 años que deseen mejorar sus cualificaciones profesionales en ámbitos relacionados con la transición digital y verde. Estos cursos proporcionan las competencias necesarias para adaptarse a las nuevas demandas del mercado laboral, contribuyendo a mejorar las oportunidades de empleo de los participantes. Las temáticas que se ofrecen alcanzan áreas como el uso de la inteligencia artificial en diferentes sectores, la eficiencia energética, la gestión de compras y la gestión empresarial, entre otras, cubriendo competencias imprescindibles en el contexto actual de transformación. Este programa reafirma el compromiso del Gobierno con la formación continua y la preparación de la población para los retos futuros del mercado laboral y el emprendimiento. Con este objetivo, el Gobierno de Baleares ha lanzado una convocatoria para fomentar el emprendimiento regional mediante modificaciones del 100% de la cuota de autónomos a la Seguridad Social para todos los trabajadores autónomos que inicien un negocio y estén empadronados en las Islas Baleares. La convocatoria del 2024 ha sido un éxito con 1.151 solicitudes. A esta medida se suma el programa de ayudas al autónomo dual, es decir, a las personas que desarrollan pluriactividad. Con este programa se pretende promover que estos trabajadores autónomos dediquen su jornada laboral completa a desarrollar su actividad empresarial mediante una bonificación de la cuota a la Seguridad Social. El modelo económico del Gobierno de las Islas Baleares es el de la innovación, el emprendimiento y la libertad individual. Como ocurrió en el pasado, la imaginación, la valentía, el esfuerzo y el sacrificio individual de nuestros empresarios, trabajadores y ciudadanía en general deben ser los que abran el futuro y nos indiquen los caminos a seguir. Muchas gracias por todo.
Thank you very much. And now we will introduce our next video, and it's from Villa Zero project, shared by us by Ms. Secredius from region of Dalarna in Sweden. And the aim of the project is to build a carbon-neutral detached house. Please.
The European Union has set itself the objective of becoming carbon neutral by 2050. In order to contribute to reaching this objective, local and regional authorities, together with their communities, are working to transform their way of living and to achieve sustainable growth. The region of Dalarna has embarked on the Villa Zero project, which aims to build Sweden's first carbon-neutral single-family house by employing sustainable construction technology and building materials of the future. An interesting part of the project is to evaluate whether it's possible to build single-family houses with a foundation of wood instead of concrete, since the concrete has a bigger impact on the climate. We spoke to Birgitta Sakriadius, Regional Councillor of Dalarna and member of the EPP COR group, who spoke on the importance of multi-level governance and partnerships to achieve the green transition.
If we should succeed with the green transition, we have to work multi-level approach. So therefore, we are very happy that we have the cohesion funds and that we work also with the state to try to change our society to be more green and sustainable. And that's why we are together in a partnership for regional innovation, which means that we have the private, the public, the academy and the civil society with us.
We also spoke to Eva Lundin, innovation strategist from the region of Dalarna, who shared with us how this project aims to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals.
Villa Zero is a great project, an example how a sector can contribute to the global development goals. It's about gender equality, it's about contributing to carbon neutral, and also innovation and regional policies. Villa Zero is designed by women, built by women, and it's Sweden's first carbon neutral house.
Thank you. Very inspiring to listen to you all and see this. I really want to thank everybody. We have 2-3 minutes. If there is somebody who has a very short, because 10 o'clock we have to switch for the YEPs. If somebody has anything short to ask or say, any comments or no? Okay, then I want to thank our panel so much and welcome our next panel. Thank you. Now we're going to shift our focus to our young elected politicians, and these young policy makers are bringing fresh perspectives and innovative solutions for their communities. So I would like to welcome Vitaly Hamanyuk from Ukraine, Sheptytsky City Council member. Then we have Lorenka Baker from Albania, member of Youth City Council, Municipality of Tirana. Is that Lorenko? Okay. And Jose Luis Polo Ruiz de Hermosa from Spain, councillor and spokesman of the City Council of Torralba de Calatrava. My Spanish is not so good, but my Ukrainian is not so good either, but I'm doing my best. Thank you for your patience. So we're going to start with Ukraine, and I think everything is in order. Mr. Hamanyuk, could you tell us how you aim to advance sustainable development in your region through this twinning? Please.
Presentation city of Chernograd in Lviv region, Ukraine, but 1 week ago Chernograd renamed to Sheptytsky, but Chernograd named is Soviet Union and renamed to Sheptytsky. I'm translate video presentation and other thesis. Please translate video. Chernograd City Territorial Community, Development, Cooperation and the Path of European Integration. Sheptytsky, located 20 kilometers from Polish border. Economy case sector is coal mining, but 2 years we cooperation with Germany Foundation and transformation coal mining. Geographical location and connection with European Union. First, it's located near the Polish border, well connected by road and rail major cities. Humanitarian support from twin cities for war-affected children and servicemen. We have twin cities of Sheptytsky. In Poland, it's Piskovice, Księżpol and Drogochin. In Litva, Marijampolė and Canada, Brandon. You should see in economical and investment potential, social sphere, energy management system. We have an energy defense solution, software product, automates energy defense indicators processing. We have a first municipal healthcare facility to become energy independent via solar panels. The surplus electricity generated by the hospital is sold to the grid, which is unique for Ukraine. Due to of Ukraine's energy infrastructure, cities often experience power outage. This equipment allows for autonomy for 8 hours. Renewable Energy Center. We work with the European Union Anti-Corruption Initiative, signed 8 years ago. Integrity support with Anti-Corruption Initiative. We are seeking a partner city in European Union. Let's remember that the citizens of Ukraine are giving the most valuable thing, their lives, to be free and allegiant with European values. Glory to Ukraine, Slava Ukraini! Presentation, please. Last slide. Research partnership, twin cities. Who interesting, please call. All right, we open, and other cities in Ukraine open to cooperation and partnership. Thank you. And I have a present, a flag for Ukrainian special forces. When I work in free time, and send you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Thanks.
Thanks for all.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, it's amazing that development doesn't stop even if under these circumstances, and I think that's important to remember when somebody says it's impossible or it can't be done. It's an inspiration to see that you continue the development under these circumstances. We will move on now to Lorenka Bejko from Albania. So, Ms. Bejko, could you share how your initiative is making a tangible impact, please?
Thank you, Ms. Vice President. Distinguished members, I'm Lorenka Bejko, coming as a representative of municipality of Tirana as a youth city council. I'm honored to stand before you as the first representative of Albania in this program. As an opportunity, it fills me with immense pride and a depth sense of responsibility, especially as we address the pressing needs of minority communities in Albania, including the Romani population as well. Albania is a vibrant tapestry of cultures and ethnicities so far, home to several minority groups such as Greeks, Macedonians, Montenegrins, and most importantly, the Romani community. Despite their significant presence and contributions to our society, the Roma has faced systematic challenges that hinders their participation in democratic processes. Their voices have been unheard, and they lack adequate representation in our electoral system. As a situation is unacceptable, and this is why I'm advocating for crucial reforms in the electoral Albanian code. My initiatives aim to ensure that the voices of all minorities are not only heard but also represented in the Albanian parliament. By drafting an electoral code that explicitly includes provision for minority voting rights, we pave the way for more inclusive democracy. While the law of protection and national minorities in Albania provides a fundamental framework, it requires substantial enhancement to genuinely reflect our commitment to inclusion and equality. We must collaborate to amend the law and implement changes that empower those marginalized groups by ensuring that their participation in political life is not just a possibility but a reality. Moreover, fostering inclusion and representation for all communities is not merely a matter of social justice, but also a critical step toward advancing our European integration process. As we strive to align ourselves with European standards and values, it's quite essential that we have to create a political environment where every citizen, regardless of their background, has a voice and a stake in the democratic process. The EU itself has long championed the principles of equality and non-discrimination. By embracing those principles within our own borders, we can demonstrate our readiness to join the rank of the EU countries. When we ensure that the marginalized communities are represented and engaged in our democratic processes, we signal our commitment to upholding the very values that the European Union stands for. These alignments will undoubtedly enhance our credibility in the eyes of the European institution and expedite our journey toward the full EU membership. Let us remember that true democracy is only achieved when every citizen feels valued and has the opportunity to participate meaningfully in shaping their future. I urge all of you to support initiatives that foster inclusion and representation for all the communities. Together we can build a stronger, much more united Western Balkan that not only meets the aspiration for its citizens, but also as a model for integration and democratic governance in Europe. Thank you so much for your attention and commitment to this vital cause. Together we can forge a path toward a more inclusive and democratic country that only aligns and values we share in the European community itself. Thank you.
Thank you very much for sharing this with us, and we will move on in the program. And now is to José Luis Polo. Mr. Polo, rural population is a pressing issue for many regions and countries. So what alternative measures have you implemented to alleviate depopulation, and how do you see these measures contributing to the region's long-term sustainability? Please.
Buenos días a todos. En primer lugar, y antes de comenzar a desarrollar mi intervención, me gustaría agradecer al Partido Popular Europeo en el Comité de las Regiones la oportunidad que se nos brinda pudiendo formar parte de este evento. Este Local Dialogue, para pequeños municipios como el que yo tengo el honor de representar, es un escaparate de Europa de la labor que desde nuestros gobiernos tratamos de ejercer trabajando en contacto permanente con cada vecino. También querría agradecer al Comité de las Regiones la labor que realiza organizando esta Semana Europea de las Regiones, que ya cumple su 22ª edición. Un evento que debe de servir, vuelvo a repetir, como escaparate europeo para aquellas regiones que en el funcionamiento habitual de la Unión se suelen Mi nombre es José Luis Polo y soy el concejal portavoz del Grupo Popular en el Ayuntamiento de Torralba de Calatrava. Al sur de España. Es la tierra de gigantes molinos que inspiraron a Cervantes para escribir su novela universal El Quijote. En un pueblo como el mío, la política coge otra dimensión totalmente distinta. El contacto con el ciudadano es constante y tienes la oportunidad de conocer de primera mano las distintas inquietudes que les preocupan en cada momento. Tengo la oportunidad de dirigirme a todos ustedes para hablarles al respecto de la despoblación en nuestros entornos rurales. La Unión Europea es habitada por más de 440 millones de personas, una población con una tendencia creciente como podemos ver en la imagen, pero una población que no se distribuye de forma regular por la geografía europea, como vemos en este mapa. Si concretamos aún más, si nos focalizamos en mi país, podemos ver que este reparto poblacional es mucho más desigual. Claro reflejo de que tenemos un problema de despoblación en ciertas zonas del interior de la península que se suelen corresponder con entornos rurales. Castilla-La Mancha, mi región, tiene una densidad poblacional de 27 habitantes por kilómetro cuadrado, mientras que otras comunidades como Cataluña o Baleares muestran datos de densidad de 250 habitantes por kilómetro cuadrado, sin mencionar el apabullante dato madrileño de más de 800 personas por kilómetro. Pues bien, en mi municipio estamos convencidos de que esta circunstancia, que se presenta como una tendencia creciente en los últimos años y que amenaza a la despoblación de los entornos rurales, es totalmente frenable. Evidentemente, somos conocedores del éxito que pueden tener ciertas medidas que se vienen tomando habitualmente, como cheques bebé para apoyar el nacimiento de nuevos habitantes en nuestros pueblos, beneficios de ayudas directas al alquiler o la adquisición de primera vivienda. Pero desde nuestro ayuntamiento, sin dejar de lado este tipo de medidas, estamos convencidos de que por sí solas se hacen insuficientes, pudiendo llevar al abandono del municipio una vez recibidas las mismas. Por ello, en los últimos 9 años, en los que el Gobierno del Partido Popular lleva al frente de Torralba de Calatrava, hemos decidido emprender un programa focalizado en fomentar la actividad en el municipio para todos los rangos de edad. Estamos convencidos de que impulsando el asociacionismo, generando actividades subvencionadas por el consistorio municipal y apoyando de manera logística y económica las iniciativas populares que se generan, llegaremos a alcanzar un entorno cargado de actividad que hará posible el objetivo de evitar el abandono de estas zonas rurales. Buscamos, además, aliviar de la mejor forma posible la carga laboral de las familias, dando servicios de cuidado y apoyo escolar, tanto en horario de mañana como de tarde, para así permitir esta conciliación que cada vez se muestra como algo más anhelado, a la par que complejo. Por otra parte, se ha llevado a cabo la construcción de un área industrial a las afueras del municipio y que se encuentra en creciente expansión. Además, se ha aprobado una rebaja fiscal en la adquisición del suelo industrial de aquellas empresas que quieran instalarse en Torralba y se trabaja día a día por mantener en perfecto estado este área para atraer la inversión en la misma. Todo ello está provocando que en Torralba, como pueden ver en este gráfico, desde que se comenzaron a implantar estas medidas, la población haya crecido en más de un 5%. Y observando además unos aumentos proporcionales que año a año vienen siendo más grandes, como pueden apreciar en esta imagen. Esto está generando a su vez el desarrollo de negocios hosteleros, comercios y el nuevo auge del mercado inmobiliario con la reactivación de varias obras que quedaron abandonadas en la época de la crisis de 2008. Y no solo eso, se ha generado una bajada en el desempleo en el municipio que, aunque como aprecian en el gráfico se vio ralentizada por la pandemia de la COVID-19, es continua gracias a esta labor con el desarrollo económico que se está implementando en Torralba de Calatrava. Por todo ello, estamos convencidos de que los entornos rurales tienen mucho que aportar a Europa. No somos partidarios de una Europa centralizada en las grandes ciudades, sino que somos partidarios de una Europa que, aun manteniéndose a la vanguardia a nivel mundial, sea capaz de cuidar y conservar sus tradiciones. Desde las regiones despobladas necesitamos Europa como motor para no frenar este desarrollo que día a día y vecino a vecino tratamos de alcanzar desde los gobiernos municipales. Abogamos por una Europa unida, pero con una unión que conserve las raíces originarias de cada pueblo. Y por ello consideramos que es necesario aumentar la presencia europea en estas regiones, desarrollando más programas juveniles que permitan visitar nuestras zonas rurales, becas que fomenten la actividad en nuestros municipios y que activen las economías de estos entornos deprimidos. Solo así conseguiremos mantener la esencia europea de la que siempre tan orgullosos debemos estar. Queremos una unión liderando el mundo, pero sin olvidar su región y sus orígenes y sus pueblos. Muchas gracias.
Thank you very much, and it's so inspiring in many ways to listen to all the panelists, and gives a lot of hope, but also shows one important thing is how important the local level is to cooperate within the multi-level governance and also EU funds. So there is hope that we are going to work smarter, but we also have challenges, like the Draghi report says, about skills and competing in other ways. I was very hard with the time because I wanted everybody to be treated equally, but is there anything that you feel like I didn't have a chance to say? Please do. Otherwise, I would open the floor for the panel, for the audience, if they have any remarks or questions. Please, the floor is open. Short questions or short remarks, so we have some time. I don't see any. Yes, please.
Maybe. Thanks. I'm from the delegation from Ukraine, and I want to invite everyone who is here to be the engines of process with establishment partnerships with Ukrainian cities and regions. Discover Ukraine and you will see that we have a lot of common with our cities. And together we will make Europe stronger. Thanks.
Thank you. Mr. Rautio, please.
Yes, good morning, everyone. Sari Rautio from Hämeenlinna, Finland. And I also want to thank you, of course, all of you from your presentations. But I want to join with the previous speaker about the importance of the Twin City agreements. And I'm sure that there will be, you will find city or many cities to accompany you. My city, Hämeenlinna, we just made, last December, we made a deal with the Sumi, and that we connected that together with the city of Celle from Germany. And I think this is also a very good idea to combine, not just twinning two cities, but to combine more cities so that, through that we can find even more resources. So I just wanted to stress this, underline this, and thank you for this very nice morning event. Thank you.
Nobody? You're shy? No? Well, I have one more question, because now we have these JEPs, and in entire Europe we have one issue that is concerning us, and that is that young people are not having babies. And that worries us. And so this is just a question. You are local politicians, and you know your population. Can you very short just give us a hint what you think need to be done to give younger people the want to have families and children and so on? Do you have anything that you see? We heard some examples. You had one from your, but is there anything? Because we discuss a lot about young people, but we don't always talk to young people as much as we should. Please.
Well, in my opinion, but not only on a personal level, just as a municipality, we are seeing that it's quite crucial, and it's a global problem for sure. I believe that by having not stable job and also not stable income, people are much more subconsciously, let's say, responsible, that they are not going to get this step in case that they don't have those stable, let's say, resources. So pretty much it needs like a campaign in order to get better information toward all the EU social initiatives that perhaps it could be helpful, but in the same level, a better alignment of agenda with the local and central government that can speed up the process. This is what I believe so far. It's one of the things that we are lacking as a society.
Thank you. Well. And we have this new thing, so I'm sorry. I want to thank everybody for contributing. It's been very interesting, and I think we learned a lot in a very short time. But what we can say is these initiatives really demonstrate the work, and that we invest in local skills, resources, identities, that we create stronger and more resilient regions that are capable of sustainable growth. And I think also new technology needs to go hand in hand with skills. So we are in a new period. I think that our also policies need to. Mr. Rautio, you want to say something before?
Sorry, Mrs. President. I just want to join with this. This was a really good question what you had and asked. And I think what I've been thinking, I've been talking with my own kids and with their friends and around Europe as well. I think one thing what we ought to do, and I think what EPP should do more, is that we should tell also about the possibilities, the brighter future that there for sure is if we have the power and strength to do the changes. I think one of the problems at the moment is that we talk too much about the problems and the devastating things that are happening in Ukraine and everywhere. It's impossible then to see how the future would be better. So I think we ought to speak not to, rosy way, but about the realistic future which is possible to achieve. Because, when I think of myself, when I was young and wanting to have kids, I was thinking about the future. And at the moment, we talk too little about the future. So this is just something. Thank you for raising it up. Thank you.
Thank you. And this is what I mean. I hope that today we have seen a lot of positive changes that we didn't know about that can give us hope and so on. I have one young, please.
Thank you so much, Majib. I'm coming from La Coruña, local councillor in La Coruña, and just wanted to say a very interesting measure that it's developing Galicia, my region. It's about family conciliation. In Galicia, the government of Alfonso Rueda, previous government of Alberto Núñez Feijóo, had developed the family conciliation, letting the whole education in my region is for free, from the kindergarten on the most younger ages, even to university. And I think it's something that all regions should take care about, specifically when we speak about demographic future. And Galicia is absolutely an example for the whole Europe in letting families develop their careers and, of course, having a good conciliation with family and children. That's the aportation of Galicia. Thank you.
Thank you. And it's really interesting to listen to you all, and I hope we leave this meeting here today a bit more hopeful and look at the bright side of life and continue to work in our local and regional levels. I wish you all the best, and I also encourage you all to continue to collaborate, share knowledge, and now I would like to invite all the speakers to join me for a group photo to capture this moment, and I thank all the rest because the next meeting is starting in a couple of minutes. So thank you very much.